All right, everybody, how's it going? Super excited. Today, we are going to be covering a cool ass subject. So, we're going to be talking about mindset, okay? Mindset is what we call pillar number 4 when it comes to vagus nerve health. Now, one thing I realized is that you can go out, bro. You can go out and you can spend thousands of dollars on a stimulator. Yeah, look, I like stimulators too, just as much as the next guy. But if you're like, yeah, all my life problems are going to be solved if I just stimulate my vagus nerve or my ear with electricity, get out of here with that. Seriously, get out of here. I'm going to actually teach you in this one video right here how to avoid a life of despair by constantly looking for things which don't work and failing again and again and again and driving asleep with your eyes closed at the wheels of your life, because I know many out there are. You might be one of those people who are trying to wake yourself up. Mindset of the vagus nerve is crucial here. So this is a very, very important video. Stop what you're doing. I prepared a really cool demonstration inside of VR. I love working in three-dimensional space. We're going to show you more than what you can just see on a whiteboard. So this is going to kick your booty. Okay? So why do you want to watch this video? Because if you're just focused on stimulating your vagus nerve, eating pills, exercising, you're missing the fourth crucial pillar. Pillar number 4, mindset. This is the domain where we talk about trauma and energy and higher concepts of living a fulfilled life. Because a lot of people, what I think, a lot of people are just trained this way that what they need really is like a band-aid. Or maybe they need like a pill. Maybe you just need like a pill, you guys. Maybe if only I could just come and be your savior and just give you the one magical thing that's just gonna change your life and you don't have to do any work, okay? And I'm gonna basically mash up hamburger for you and feed it to you in a tube, and you can just sit there in bed and suck your thumb and just get some pills. But that's not what I like. That's not what I'm about. So if you're looking for that, then let's shift the thinking here, okay? Let's shift the mindset. So the first concept that's really important to know when it comes to your mindset is a concept called pendulums. And you're like, what? Pendulums? You mean things that swing like this? Yes, I do. I mean things that swing to and fro. A pendulum. A pendulum. Boop, swing, 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 okay? Pendulums are a great metaphorical representation, okay? Now this is cutting edge. Let me do a disclaimer, okay? I'm on the cutting edge. I am a pioneer. You are in a pioneering group. If you're not looking for pioneering stuff, go call up your local doctor and say, hey, give me some pills right now. Because they'll never tell you this shit. They will never, ever tell you about mindset. They'll say, take pills, you're kind of fucked, and just deal with it. We're going to manage your symptoms for the rest of your life and suck money out of you each little pill you take, okay? So if you're into that, please go there. If you don't like what I'm saying, you're like, this is kind of wacky, then go somewhere safe, okay? Go to a safe place where they're never going to talk to you about anything meaningful or helpful in your life, okay? So anyway, pendulums, energy, trauma is a energetic system that vibrates in your system, okay? Now what we're going to be seeing in just about 3 minutes or so is we're going to go into a shot of the human body. We're going to take the skin away and we're going to show you a beautiful light body in 3D, and I'm going to show you how pendulums work to operate, to go into your mind when you get traumatized, how they state in your neurology. Why do you keep on dwelling on certain things again and again? In one average day, humans think about 70,000 different things, okay? You're constantly thinking. But you know, the interesting part about it is that 80% of what you think is something that you've already thought about that same day. What a royal waste of time and life. Wouldn't you agree? What a waste of life to be overthinking things. And the reason that happens is because of pendulums. Pendulums are a force in nature that are only looking to survive, only looking to replicate in the minds of others. That's why some people who are traumatized like to traumatize other people. Haven't you noticed, right? Haven't you noticed that really traumatized people have a tendency, generally speaking, to want to go out and actively traumatize other people? And that sucks. And this is going to be a framework to help you see that before it happens so that you can avoid becoming a sponge for trauma. And it comes down to this. Now, when you have a pendulum operating in your body and you get really upset really fast, that's when you're having a pain body attack. What that means is that some part of a trauma, of an energy, has navigated from your brain down your neck through your vagus nerve to some crucial organ in your body, and it's actually residing energetically like a little swinging pendulum, which you'll see inside of your actual system, right? So you can have these like forces, like these little pendulums, right? Like that, a pendulum which is literally lodged further in your body. And when you get triggered, you have an attack. And it's painful, and it's in your body. And you often see people reacting like they're being attacked, but it's really just something in their head. And that's what we're going to help you see in this video. And we're going to help you root out that issue. And how we're going to help you literally like go in like magic into your mind's eye, into your body with a crane. You know, there's like, when I was growing up, there was a Walmart nearby where my mom kept her horses. And so about every few days we would go to the Walmart, and in the main lobby of the Walmart, before you entered the store and were greeted by a greeter, there was a series of arcade games. And there was always a game with a claw that would come down and grab like a teddy bear, you know, and it would go down, you'd put a quarter in it, you'd move the joystick around, and as soon as you thought you're over the right animal or stuffed teddy bear that you want, you click the button, and then the claw comes down and goes, and then tries to grab it. Oftentimes it doesn't. And that's a good metaphor for what most people are trying to do when it comes to trauma release. Is they're like, yeah, they see that there is trauma, but they're sending the arcade claw, which has no interest in you actually grabbing it and releasing it, okay? Let's be honest. It has no real interest in it. The longer you have the trauma, the more the claw can extract your money. Isn't that a great metaphor for how this works? So it's just going to claw down, try to grab, miss, and go somewhere else. That's what we need to be doing, though. We need to be getting rid of pendulum trauma inside of your body, okay? And the way we're going to do it is through priming exercises. Priming exercises involve a lot of the stuff I teach already. Breathing, visualization, heart-centered meditation. If you saw my video from just last week, where we did a fly-through of the breathing, we did a meditation on the heart and why it's great that you have a heart and that somebody loved you enough before you were even born to give you a heart, to give you a gift of life. That's something to be extraordinarily grateful for, I think, right? So priming exercises are essentially the way that you build in repeatedly going and ripping out pendulum trauma, okay? So now that you have a framework for what I'm going to show you now, you have got to watch this, okay? So give me a second, and I'm going to go into virtual reality here, right? So what we have here is VR.
And I'm actually going to go in and start showing you inside of this system. So I'm going to go here right now. This is so fun how this works. I love it. You'll see. Okay, so here we are. Now, where we are right now is inside of a virtual reality system, okay? So, I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me. Usually this does work. Sound-wise, it does work. Okay. Testing, testing. Okay, cool. All right. So here we are. Let me get rid of this. Okay. So this is the same pendulum that I've been referring to. Now, if we take this scene that I've created and when we back it up a little bit, what we're going to see is the body of you. This is your body. This is your system right here, right? This is your entire vagus nerve system, which is the system that stores these pendulums inside of it, okay? Now, if we zoom in a little bit closer here, let's go into your head. Let's see what you see. If we go in here, what do you see in the eyes of this soul, this brain, this person? You see the pendulum recreating itself in the eye of this person, putting it into the mind. What does a pendulum represent? This represents media. This represents violence. This represents everything that basically is force-fed into your brain all the time. All the time. It's a simple representation, but it's so clear and crystal clear. Most people are being mesmerized all the time by this pendulum, whatever that pendulum might be. It's going into your head, and it's lodging itself in there, okay? And it just you get inundated with it. And you might have like, oh my God, look, it's a friend. They're also watching it. Oh, and they have the same beliefs as you, and they also are like extremely traumatized just like you. No wonder you get along so well. Look, that's you. That's your friend. That's your other friend. Look what you look at. Look what you're paying attention to all the time. If you're all paying attention to this thing, you're essentially recreating this thing, this pendulum, in your minds. And now if we take a look at you, let's look at you. Let's look at the real you, the clear you. Let's strip away your skin. I don't want to see any of that. Let's look at the core you. Let's look at your soul here, okay? In your soul, you store pendulums, okay? You store pendulum energy inside of your mind. Look at this. Inside of your mind, you've been watching pendulums through each eye. It's stored in your head. It's really difficult to get a pendulum out of your head once it's lodged in there. And then you know what starts to happen? You start losing your voice all of a sudden. Interesting. So this traumatic energy goes into your head and then starts manifesting it physically along your vagus nerve, okay? Why do some people find it hard once they've watched a horrible news? Why do they find it difficult to speak? Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that you have a really bad conversation with somebody and it's really traumatizing? Or you're in the midst of being traumatized, but you can't use your voice anymore. Your voice is being attacked. It's called a pain body attack. And it comes from the pendulum, which is outside of you, but because you've allowed it to enter in to your eyes so many times and just reminded yourself again and again and again, and you just can't stop looking at it. You just can't stop staring at the pendulum all the time, whatever that might be for you. Your pendulum will come from your cell phone, your television, your radio, whatever that might be, okay? Because you've inundated your entire body with this constantly, as if taking a day off, you would forget all this. But no, that's not the case. If you take a day off, this might get a little bit smaller. This might get a little bit smaller, but it's still there. You can't just not do anything. So then we have things like lower body issues. Why do people, when they pay attention to the pendulum, end up having pain body attacks in their stomach? Some people have digestive issues here. Interesting. They have pain body attacks from pendulums. Because look, guys, this is nothing extraordinarily new. That when people are highly traumatized, this is PTSD right here. This is describing what PTSD is. This is the traumatic event as a memory literally in your organs expressing itself physically, and you're having a pain body attack, okay? Boom. All right? Now, here's the funny thing. You've got pain body inundated all the time. It's so inundated in your mind that you now are a traumatizer. You have been traumatized so thoroughly that now you're looking to say, hey, this virus in my mind, how do I give it to somebody else? Oh my God, maybe this is my child. Oh, my beautiful, pure child. You know what? One thing that you definitely need is this. I'm going to give you a gift. Here, beautiful, innocent child. My parents gave me this gift of trauma. I want you to have it too. I want it to be in you. I want it to be in your mind. And I want you to then hold the mantle of a traumatizer also. Beautiful, isn't it? Great family dynamic. Okay? And then let's say, you have another person here, a friend. It's important for you, having been inundated with trauma, and trauma, to now go and give it to as many people as you possibly can. Give, right? You can give. You can be a giver. Doesn't necessarily make it a good thing. All this pain body trauma is connected. Okay? So now if we take it back a little bit, what we start to realize here is that sitting above each three of these particular ones is a master pendulum. A master pendulum which now resonates alongside all three of these, synchronizing them and feeding them. So that if one of these kids, let's say this child here, this first child, he or she says, you know what? I want to get rid of my trauma. What starts to happen is that these two feel like, well, you're not feeding the main trauma pendulum. We need to make sure that you have more trauma. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate my trauma and give it to you. And I'm going to duplicate my trauma also. Boom. And I'm going to load you up with even more and more and more, so that you'll learn next time you want to get rid of your trauma, we're going to make it way worse, okay? It's going to become way more painful for you if you ever try to escape the trauma master, okay? So that's how this pendulum stuff works, okay? These are very deep esoteric concepts that, I think are pretty cool. This might go over some of your heads, and that's perfectly all right. Now, if we back this up a little bit, and we go back to the origin point, right? So we have these three people with their traumatic energy in getting more and more trauma every day, watching it on the news, telling each other about it, sharing trauma, hanging out with traumatized people, becoming traumatized themselves. This is the trauma pendulum, essentially, giving you pain body attacks, right? This energy flows through your vagus nerve, expresses itself. This is what's called having a frog in your throat. Notice, you've ever had a frog in your throat? You know how much your vagus nerve connects in your throat, actually? Like, legit, did you know how much your vagus nerve goes into your throat and controls if you're able to speak or not? It's remarkable, okay? So this is another part of the vagus nerve that you will never hear anywhere else. Truly. Maybe a few people. Maybe people who talk about trauma release. Now, how do you escape this process? Escaping this process requires you to build something that is beautiful and not trauma, okay? It's literally like that kind of simple, okay? Right? So, getting yourself to a place in life where you're no longer feeding yourself more trauma, what you do is you engineer it, okay? You say, okay, I don't want to look at trauma pendulum anymore. I'm going to shrink trauma pendulum. But trauma pendulum's still there. Cover it up. Replace trauma pendulum with something cooler, better, something new, neat. Look, right? Okay? And then as you watch it, it'll replace this. Okay? Be a positive example for your children. Yeah? Does that sound good? Be a positive example for yourself. Give yourself new experiences, new lessons, new training. Give yourself something new. And eventually what will happen is you'll starve this pendulum until it goes, I'm dying. Oh my God. No, no, no. You're not feeding me anymore. You're not feeding me traumatic pendulum energy. And then what happens is you sever these bonds between this, okay? You sever the bonds of trauma between the master trauma pendulum in the sky that connects multiple people, which you know it does, and then you go, get the frick out of here. You throw that shit away. Toss it, okay? And replace it with something cooler, better, something powerful, something that ignites the soul. And through that process, you can remove the deeper ingrained trauma that still resides in your head, because you can do all this, but you still got to get rid of that guy. Toss it. Get out of here. Get this trauma out of this body. Let's take this out of your throat. Let's toss it. Out of here. Go, goodbye. Take this one. Look at this. Look at this trauma. This defined you. This is your identity. You've been traumatized for years, for decades. Why would you ever want to give up that identity? Why would you ever want to be something different than who you could be, who you're meant to be? Because this is safe. You could just go back to being under the spell of the pendulum once more, and life would be not easier, but at least you would know it, and it would be comfortable. And then you could just go back to traumatizing more people again and again and again, and being traumatized and living in the pendulum. Or you could say, no more, no, out of here, get out of here, okay? And then through that process, you actually start to do something really incredible, and you create these beautiful connections of community with like amazing people. And then you change the whole script, and you watch, you go, okay, I remember that I have this little pendulum right here, this little guy. Don't forget it's there, okay? Look at that. You've literally re-engineered a beautiful system where you've basically replaced the pendulum. No longer watching disgusting news. No longer re-traumatizing yourself with all the garbage that's out there. You don't need to be reminded that there are evil people out there. That there are people who have actively commandeered the forces of media, who are traumatized themselves and are looking to traumatize you more and more and more, because they believe that that's how things should be. But I'm here to tell you that that's not how it should be. It shouldn't be like that. You should be beautiful with people. You should create systems of beautiful things for people to live and experience, okay? Literally, make the world like this. Let's watch beauty. Let's watch love. Let's be in a place of expansion, love, abundance, all that kind of stuff. That's what the power of the vagus nerve is really all about, is having these systems. And then eventually, at some point, just be free. Literally just be free. You can be a free agent if you can remove the pain body attacks. So that is it for our video. We are going to summarize it here, and I'm going to hop back on Pendulums. Okay, so knowing that you are a force that is inherently susceptible to the draw and the gravity of a pendulum is the first step in knowing that you can engineer what you take into your brain and your body and your mind, and what you share with other people, and how you interact with people, and how you live a good life, okay? So that's what this video is about. That's how we do it. And now we're going to jump off of VR. We're going to switch back into the quote real world. Okay, real world time.
And we're back, okay? So what we get when we do VR is we might have a little bit of red on my face, but it's okay. It's a little bit hot. We're in California, okay? So who's liking this video? All right, let's see. Let's get the camera right. Boom, baby. Okay, who likes this video? Type in the comments, wow, I want a big W and O and W. If you've learned something today, if you feel like your mindset has been expanded, if you feel like you can see things more than you did before this video, then I definitely want you to like it, comment on it, say wow, okay? Ask me some questions, right? I want to know what things come up for you when you're watching this, because I'm sure you have questions. I want to know your questions. Legitimately, I want to start a dialogue with you. Maybe we can work together to help you remove some of this traumatic energy from inside of your body. Wouldn't that be great? Is the vision that I presented here pretty extraordinary? Of you knowing the system to remove this stuff out of your body? You just knowing that, you could actually become a force for good for other people as well. Wouldn't that be amazing? You could now, knowing the framework that I'm teaching you, right, just from this video alone, start to instantly identify it in people all around you. You can identify this stuff if you know what to look for. And this is the framework for knowing what to look for. Now, what are we talking about in terms of getting rid of this stuff? Priming exercises, okay? Priming exercises. These are really important. Priming exercises are like the thing that's going to help you escape this on a daily basis and help removing the pendulum that's just standing right in front of your face. So one thing I'm really excited about today is that this week I launched a new book, okay? This is not any normal kind of book. This is a very special book. This is the Vagus Nerve 90-Day Planner, okay? Now look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. Beautifully designed. This is a book you can pick up today if you want. If you want to get this book, you can get it today on Amazon. I'll share the link for people in this group because I am so stoked. By the way, we are at 10,000 people in this group. I am so stoked at how big this group is going because this is more than just a group for me. It's not even really a group. This is like a movement, okay? We are coming to the world as a force, as a collective of people who know this kind of stuff is important. Health, mindset. It's more important than just taking pills and just getting band-aids so you can go back to watching Netflix. I'm not into that. Don't like Netflix, okay? Think it's kind of the enemy. But that's another topic. Okay, so inside of this book, what makes this amazing is what I often hear is that people say, I love the practices of breathing and meditation and vagus nerve stimulation through the neck with maybe ultrasound, those kinds of things. But some of the practices start to kind of get a little bit out of hand and they don't have a good way to keep track of them. So what I did is I created this ingenious system right here that actually allows you to fill in the square. Okay? So what that might look like is for any single day, you're like, okay, I want to make sure that I do some breathing, grounding, vagus nerve stimulation, meditation, take my supplements, and exercise, right? So we see it's filled in, and we see what it looks like not filled in. We'll go back. Filled in. It's like a flip book. See that? Boom. 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 So each day, you essentially, with a pen, you fill in what are the exercises that you're going to do today. You schedule it. Make it happen. There is no book like this anywhere in the world. How am I able to make this book? Because I have close to a decade of health-related exercises because my first car accident, which sucked, was in 2010. Okay? I've had cranial sacral, I've had neck injections, I've had massages, I've had therapy my entire life to deal with things that are not my fault. Okay? I didn't get myself into car accidents. Other people hit me. I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? So I've had to learn this stuff, and that's how I'm in this position. I am not like some of these other people in groups who have like scrambling like, oh my God, it's a recession. I should make a group. Maybe I should take some of the knowledge that I half know and teach it. That's not what I'm about. I'm absolutely kind of personally happy to do what I do. But on one hand, unlike a lot of people, I think what separates me from others is that I really care about the stuff that I say and do and teach. It really matters to me deeply that people get the help. And why is it that I am not all about giving you some empty promises, some empty pills, some shit that's not going to work for you? Why would I go through the effort of making a book when it would be just simple? It would be so much simpler for me to say, guys, if you want the secret, just get these pills. Just buy these pills, okay? Don't do any work. Because that's what happened to my sister. My sister. Most people don't know this story, but my sister, Carrie Cooley, she's passed. She died at 30. I'm 31. I was 4 years younger than my sister. Now I'm 1 year older than my sister. And the reason she's gone is because she was fed a string of lies her whole life from people who didn't know any better and didn't really give two shits about her. And I lost my sister because I wasn't engaged in her life. I wasn't standing up and telling her what she needed to hear. People will tell you what you want to hear. Trust me. People will tell you every fucking thing that you want to hear so that you'll give them your fucking money. Okay? And it happens. It's happened to me. I know it's happened to you. And I hate that. And it happened to my sister. And there are consequences to that. You know? She was left without any support. She ended up killing herself in 2014. She hung herself in Portland, Oregon. Right around her birthday. Actually, just a few weeks after her birthday, to be exact. And I never want that to happen. And you know what you do to avoid that kind of thing happening for other people? Some people who I don't even know. I might not even have met you or talked to you. This might be the first time you've ever seen me speak. If so, welcome. If you've been here for a while, hey, I love you. Like, legitimately, I love you. I think about this group of people every day. How can I serve you? How can I make your lives better? How can I be honest with you? Okay? Like, I don't have to be in VR. Like, I literally don't. I could just do a whiteboard. I could do as cheaply as possible. I could probably be about 10 times more wealthy than I am. I would rather be playing video games in high school. I would rather go back to all that kind of stuff. I would rather just not do anything and just read books. Literally, I would just rather listen to audiobooks. This isn't my favorite thing in the world to do. It's hot here. I'm sweating. But I do it because I have to. Literally, I have to. There's nobody else saying this kind of stuff, and the world needs this right now. So that's why I'm here. So I'm really happy to announce that we have a new book, which is a 90-day planner, which actually helps you stick to these health regimens, which I talk about all the time. And people say, you should do this, you should do that, blah, 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 blah. But then when it comes to putting the rubber to the road, it just never happens, okay? So I'm going to share the link for this book. This book is amazing. You should absolutely consider getting it. It is pricey, I'll tell you. It's not a cheap book, but it's a book that works. This is a book that comes from experience of actually working on this stuff. And the thing is, if you invest something, you take it more seriously. And I want you to take this stuff seriously because it's worth it. Your health is worth it. I almost lost my dad recently to a heart attack because he wasn't taking his health seriously. You know, you could just be gone in a second. And it's easier to invest in a burger than in a book that like literally makes it like a game to just flip through how many times you did breathing, right? This is more expensive than a hamburger. But what's going to give you a heart attack? The hamburger, the cheap hamburger times 100? Because you can have 100 hamburgers. You only need to buy one of these. You're not going to have to buy these for the rest of your life. Although that'd be cool. You should. Because you should be doing these exercises. So anyway, I'm super stoked about this video. If you're just tuning in now and you're like, what? Watch the replay. Anybody who's watched now, on the replay, type in hashtag replay squad because I love seeing this. This is going to be a cool fucking video. I'm really stoked about this. This will be a shareable video. If this video in particular has really blown your mind a little bit about what trauma really is and where it is in your body and what a pain attack is, then I for sure would love, if you think that this video could touch somebody and change their lives, then, I mean, I'm not going to tell you what you gotta do, but you should probably share this video, right? Wouldn't that be a nice thing? Be like, whoa, check this out. Even kids can watch this stuff. It's in VR. Who doesn't like VR, right? So it's accessible to anybody. It's not that complicated, but it's powerful, okay? So that's it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some of your questions that you've asked and make sure that I maybe answer them there, or etc., etc. I want to keep this video short and to the point. I'm so grateful for 10,000 people in this group. Yes, yes, yes. I will share the link to this beautiful piece of art. This book is basically a black matte cover, so it's soft, not shiny, doesn't reflect anything, it just absorbs light, right? And it's got literally a custom design vagus nerve on it. Vagus nerve stimulation and repair. That's the name of the group, and it's a 90-day planner. 90-day planner, okay? This is my original copy, first print. I'm loving it, doing it every day. You know, I have problems sometimes with these big planners. I have one here. Is it's like, what do I have to do? Like, write an entire novel today just to be able to, like, put down what my main thing is I need to do today? So I made this simple. This is are you, like, looking for an effective planner that you can just have? It's got weekly review, monthly review, and life review pages as well. So you can get a bigger overall sense of movement and momentum in your life too. It's not just one of these like flying blind, like, okay, day after day. I don't want you to think like that. I want you to think long term too. I'm definitely a long-term thinker, right? Okay? So that's how we grow a 10,000 person group, right? Because we show up every day. We love what we do. We are passionate about it because it's fun and we get to change lives, okay? So that's it for us. Thank you everybody for watching. I will be posting the link to this in the comments. Yes, it is more than any planner for a 90-day planner, but yes, it is worth it, okay? Look, if you don't want to have this one, go buy another one. But plan your life, okay? Go out and plan your life, baby. Plan your life to figure out how you're going to attack the trauma pendulums, okay? You are in the battle. Either you give up and you go back to this, or you say, no more. I am a gladiator. I will lead, not follow. I will create, not doubt. I will believe. Okay? You are the voice. Okay? Now it's time for you to take your standards for how you've been living your life, whatever that might be, and raise your standards. Take your standards up to a higher level. God knows we all could do that, right? God knows that we could raise our standards just a little bit more today. Today you could raise your standards. You could get off of this video and say, you know what? Damn, that boy was right. Damn, that kid had a point. That kid was talking some truth to me and I should listen to it. And I should take whatever my standards are for life and raise them up. And then I should step up to meet those challenges. You should step up to meet the challenges of your life. You should step up to the new standards that you set for yourself. The standards that you write down, the ones that you plan at every single day, a plan of attack, okay, in your hands. This is real shit. This is not an optical illusion. This is a real fucking book, okay? This is how you step up in your life, okay? I'm inviting you to step the fuck up, all right? Nobody else is going to tell you that. Literally, people don't want to hurt your feelings, so they're not going to tell you the truth. And I'm just sick of that shit. I'm so sick of people not telling people the truth. Alright? So, that's it for our video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, share this video. Share it so you can change one person's life. And thank you all so much. I'll talk to you later. Peace.